Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final round of the Radical Esports Cup in Season 2 of 2026. We come to the streets of Adelaide for round 12, one of iRacing's more newer racetracks on the service, and no doubt challenging one as well. We got off the back last week of the Nordschleife, which is obviously one of the most challenging racetracks in the world as well, and one of the closest finishes of the season, in fact, last week at the Nordschleife. Ended with Lucas Vieira taking the race victory in front of Andre Castro and Heinz Braun on the podium, with others in behind there as well on that run towards the finish line at the end of 4 laps. I'm Ian O'Leary alongside Joe Gregory here for this RaceBot TV and iRacing broadcast here from Adelaide tonight. And Joe, we've got a difficult street track to end this season.
Oh, so tough out here, and I took the opportunity to throw down a few laps out here at Adelaide, and was imagining those old F1 cars storming around here. And this track is very, very difficult. On paper, maybe doesn't look that tough with those 490-degree corners in a row, but there are some very difficult camber changes out here. There is a huge bump on the exit of turn 4, which could bite some people, and many other challenges, which we'll get to.
Absolutely, it's perhaps one of the most challenging of the season, and it comes right at the end here in week 12. You can see the schedule we've been through there since the end of March. The new schedule will obviously be back in 2 weeks' time after we had a week off for the week 13. We'll be back the week after. 150 points is the current gap between Havard Gullikson and Andre Castro, with James Barry up there as well, 173 points back. Got some news on those standings, by the way. I'll go through all that in a moment on the official iRacing standings. The race for 4th will be on as well for Heinz Braun. In the RaceBot TV standings, it is still open actually between Andre Castro and Havard Gullikson, although 10 points was added on to Andre Castro's lead last week. At the Nordschleife, James Barry didn't score any points, and so he's out of it now. Heinz Braun, a bit of a jump back to him. You can see the main 3 of this season. Heinz Braun is 4th, ahead of Ketzel Larsen. Sebastian Lipp is in the top 10 still, ahead of Peter Ivnik, George Gonzaga, Rafa Blanco, and Jake Williams, who's only been in the top 10 4 times, but he is still inside the top 10 overall in our RaceBot TV standings as well. So just to go through the permutations for the iRacing standings, it's going to be difficult to work out for tonight, but I got a message from James Barry earlier about what this might look like, because him and Havard Gullikson have been doing some maths and so on, and have concluded that Andre Castro needs 168 points to match his current total, and Havard needs more than 194, this is iRacing points, to improve his own score further. So if Andre beats Havard and scores 168 or more points today, which should be possible tonight, he'll get the championship, or this week I should say, then he'll get the championship. If Havard beats Andre and they both score higher than that, then it could get complicated, in his words. So it could well be sealed in front of our eyes here tonight. We could be on the way to that if certain scenarios unfold over the course of this race. But so far, Havard Gullikson has made a good start, because he's on the front row, and Andre Castro is slightly surprisingly down in 6th place here early on.
Yeah, very, very tough. And I'll tell you what, Ewan, this is not one of those tracks that we come to week in and season in and season out. We are not at Spa or any of those other courses where all these drivers have thousands of laps. Adelaide, fairly new out here, and I got to tell you, this little SR10 is a handful. Look at those bumps right now, George Gonzaga. The SR10 does not like the bumps, but those bumps in the center chicane coming off that pit straight are mandatory. If you don't launch that SR10 through there on every lap, you're going to get smoked. You're going to have to go through there 19 times bouncing over those curbs. And here's another example right here. Oh, you're going to kiss that curb on the exit of the final turn 14 onto the pit straight. And every lap out here, Ewan, is rife with hazard.
Oh, it certainly is. Heinz Braun, in fact, pushes Andre Castro down one more position as well at the end here, as qualifying for the most part is over here. I believe there are only a few more times to come through. Ole Gulliksen maybe, yeah, still has some times on the board. In fact, some times left, I should say. He doesn't have any time on the board just yet. He has left himself enough time, though, with just less than 2 minutes left in qualifying. You can get both of your laps in, just 2.5 minutes around here, although you wouldn't want to leave it that close. 16.4 is his first lap time. That's going to have him well down in 16th place, and he really hits that first tyre wall there hard on the inside of turn 1, and that will be the end of that. It's one of the talking points. You mentioned the curves through the first chicane there, but there's that tyre wall as well. Even when there's a little bit of space on that first 1, 2 and 3 there, even at that portion it's still super close, as everywhere is around here. The wall's super close to these drivers as they're making their way around here. It really makes this circuit as challenging as we all know. And in fact, a minute early, the qualifying session has come to a close. So there we go. We'll show you the grid in a moment. The 23 car grid, by the way, a big grid for tonight. It's Peter Ivany on the pole in front of Havik Gulliksen by just 3/300 of a tenth of a second, by the way. James Barry third ahead of Kjetil Larsen, with James Franzik and Heinz Braun then behind on row 3. Andre Castro slightly farther down than you expect to see him in 7th ahead of Mikael Merasika. Then it's Jake Williams and Romain Faux who rounds out the top 10. Paki Caruso and George Gonzaga then on row 6. Dennis Kirkopoulos and Chris Vetz are the last ones winning the second of pole, with Rafa Blanco and Ole Henrik Gulliksen on row 8. Ryan Stringer and Massimiliano Loconte is on 18th position ahead of Sergei Marquez and Philippe Bourgeois. Then Gergo Danko outside the top 20 with Stuart Geddes and Gabriel Berger, who rounds out the 23 car field. It's quite a circuit to have the biggest field of the season here. 23 cars making their way down into that first chicane is going to be quite a sight here.
Yeah, wild stuff out here, and I'll tell you, Gulliksen and Barry have both got to be loving looking back and seeing Andre Castro behind Heinz Braun. I'm going to call him the Berlin Wall. Castro is going to have his work cut out for him just to break out of P7 and get through Braun to get anywhere near Gulliksen or James Barry. Barry could move up to P2 on the season if Castro has a bad finish here.
See and find out as the final drivers down the back end of the field get onto the grid, taking their time before we get this 19-lap race underway. The laps, though, going to be ticked off very, very quickly around this incredibly short street circuit. Just 14 turns around here, and not very long in distance at all. Meaning, as we saw there, the lap times can be as low as the 1:14s. Doesn't look like we are going to get those two at the back, Lochonte and Bourgeois on the back of the grid. So they may start from the pit lane or not at all. We'll wait and see. Oh, there we go. They'll finally advance to the session on, so the lights will come on here at the Radical Esports Cup, ready to go at Adelaide for the final round of the season. And what a start that is on the outside line. That is a fantastic start for Havik Gulliksen, who gets ahead of Ivany already, side by side towards turn 1, and he's through into the lead in front of Peter Ivany. Then it's James Barry who's in 3rd place in front of Kjetil Larsen. Heinz Braun battling with him though, side by side as they come down in towards the first big braking zone on this racetrack, really. Braun in front of Larsen by the looks of things. Then it's James Franzik in front of Andre Castro as he tries to make up a place there and get up into 6th position. He's side by side with Franzik and through into 6th position, and a mostly clean start through the field.
Incredibly clean start and a testament to the quality of the field and the quality of the racing out here. Look at these drivers get through that center chicane off the start. You see Donko turning there, but everybody else through side by side and clean. And a really great start here on lap 1 of 19.
Right, nice start across the field. Jake Williams trying to follow Castro through on some of these passes, and he has got up to 8th place himself. Qualified directly behind Castro, as in directly behind on the grid, so 9th to Castro's 7th. And Williams is now up to 8th place, much as Castro is up to 6th. James Franzik was the one dispatched for that pass, by the way. Franzik, in fact, passed by Heinz Braun as well, who's made up 2 places already in this race. The first chicane was clean, other than that spin we saw for Danko, and on the power out of turn number 4, Romain Faux went into a spin, and the smoke kicked up nearly meant that he couldn't be seen there. As meantime, into the very same corner, Castro goes for a move in the smoke of the lockups up ahead. Castro on the outside, so for the second second pot. It means he gets the inside for the next two right-handers, though. If he can stay there, he's just about got his nose alongside. Jake Williams arriving on the scene very quickly here. And this will hark back to the battles they had at Spa earlier on the season. If you remember round 4, where Castro and Williams came to blows on the very last lap, fighting for the win. There goes Castro to the inside as he's blocked by Larson, or attempted to be. Side by side, they go through the fast right-hander. Unbelievable stuff from those two. Just kicked up on the dirty line there from Castro on this street circuit. Williams goes through on the inside as well. He follows through into 6th position, and it's going from bad to worse for Ketil Larson. Here comes James Franzik, who will eventually back out of it. But this is a terrible lap for Larson, and a good one for Castro and Williams, who both move up together.
Wow, incredible driving and an incredible call by you and O'Leary. I know that you guys tune into the show to listen to him, but great stuff, and trouble potentially brewing here. Castro and Williams nose to tail. Castro in 5, Williams in 6. Those drivers have not gotten along in the past, and Castro, he's highly motivated to try to capture another championship here in the Radical Esports Cup.
What a fight that was, and I personally really enjoy when Castro and Williams get together on the racetrack, to be honest, because it's always great entertainment. I don't think they say the same about each other, to be honest, but I know that from up here it's entertaining. And Williams very much used Castro's move on Larson there to make one of his own and move up to 6th place. So you can see the movers and shakers, by the way, are all pretty much in the hands of Williams as far as the most places gained are concerned. Down the back end of the field, though, Gabriel Berger has come from the very back to 17th, so he's had a decent start so far. Barry defends on the inside there of Peter Evigny, who goes to the outside, and Heinz Braun trying to come through as well, not able to manage that at the moment. So those three fight for second. Castro and Williams for 5th, and some groups forming behind them as well, actually, with Paki Caruso at the head of it in 9th position here. So plenty of groups forming, and you expect that on a street circuit where it's not the easiest to overtake.
Yeah, very difficult to pass around here. And there's somebody turning. That's Stringer. I think Stringer in a cloud of smoke in the back there. Maybe it's Franzik. Not sure who we're looking at right there, but one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Ewan, is the draft here. Huge in these radicals, and that turn 7 to turn 9 is absolutely flat out deep into 6th gear. So that is going to be a drafting opportunity for the next 15 laps. So we're going to see some action, maybe breaking into turn 9, the slowest corner on the track, and a very difficult first gear hairpin.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting on that power. Here's how he did it, Franzik. Spinning it up on the way out there, just in front of George Gonzaga, I think he was at the time, in 10th place. Meantime, Williams overtaken by Larson. Williams has made a big error here, because he's not only not behind Castro anymore, in fact nowhere near him, but in fact he's now been passed by Ketil Larson, so there might be a story to tell there down the back end of the top 10. But James Barry ahead of Peter Evney here in shot at the moment for 2nd place. Then it's Castro, who's ahead of Heinz Braun now. Then it's Larson, and Jake Williams is off. Jake Williams is off. Mikhail Merceria got ahead first, and Williams is towed now. So that's the end of Jake Williams' season. Sadly, it's going to be 4 top 10s throughout the 12 races for him, by the looks of things, for Jake Williams, and maybe a top 10 finish at the end of the season in the points. At Laguna Seca, he had his best race. He got a race victory, but that has very much gone away from him here. He broke into the final sector here. He grazed that wall pretty hard, and actually Mikhail Merceria got involved pretty hard as well, and another driver getting involved pretty hard as well. All sorts of drama coming out of turn 11 there.
My gosh, the street circus giveth, they taketh away, and just a little grab of that tire barrier right there turns that radical, puts Williams out of it. We were looking forward to a battle between Castro and Williams. Not going to happen this time, and meanwhile Castro sitting in about P4. Barry is got Ivani all over him, but Havard Gullikson enjoying a really nice, almost 3-second lead right now. Gullikson looking to cruise to the title.
Well, let's wait and see. I see it's hard for us to know 100% and call it here, because we don't know how many points they'll actually score until the end, but at the moment he's doing all he can, that's for sure. James Barry in his message to me pretty much counted himself out of it, or at least he didn't mention himself, although he's known for that. So we'll wait and see on that. We'll just have to wait for the final standings, of course, to come around at some point early next week. But it's very close this season. That's what we can say. In the background, it was Chris Wetz who went straight on at turn 11. And he found the wall head on. You can see Jake Williams up ahead there, towing out of the way, thankfully. But yeah, very difficult corner really, turn 11, because you sort of, it's not from a high speed, but you're braking while turning through turn 10. You're avoiding that curb and the grass on the outside. If you go straight on, there's absolutely no room for error.
Yeah, very, very bad camber right there as well. It looks pretty inviting to go through there hot in second, but you got to slow a little bit more than you might think, and very easy to overcook right there, as you saw. That's in this battle between Barry and Ivani going on right now. Ivani trying the outside, and not quite. I was wondering how these Radical drivers, Ewan, would treat that curb right there on the exit of turn 9. It's inviting to open up the corner, but hard to put the power down when you're bouncing through the air like that.
Goodness me, and there's some vicious curbs around here, absolutely. This is a circuit maybe I'm misspeaking by saying this, but it feels to me primarily built for V8 supercar type racing, that sort of high-powered touring car. And those cars like the curbs better than these Radicals do. There's no doubt about that. There's another one of those. Gabriel Berger trying to brake in a straight line there for turn 4. And he goes straight on as his front wheels lift off the ground, braking down in towards turn 4 there. He loses a bit of time as a result of that. We continue to follow James Barry versus Peter Evening. It's in the background. Heinz Brunn puts the pressure on Castro. And Michael Messer makes a bit of a mistake here and drops outside the top 10 as well. And I mean, that's going to be a constant feature of this race. Oh, well, of course, he's still got that front end missing after hitting Jake Williams earlier, but this is too late on the brakes from him in towards turn 4, and has to use that escape road to make a very painful 3-point turn as well.
Yeah, that turn 4 entry is definitely a trap. You're feeling good after going through this end of chicane, setting up for turn 4. It looks like you can enter a lot faster than you really can. The car lightens up over a crest right in the braking zone. Very, very easy to overcook that. That's why they've got that exit road right there, and we've seen a few cars in it already after only 7 laps.
Well, this is an exciting battle, isn't it, for third place. Evenew was putting the pressure onto James Barry earlier on, but now he's been shuffled back, and he's now with Andre Castro right behind him, putting the pressure on here for third position. Castro was having a look down the inside on the big braking zone down towards turn 9 there. In the end, he backed out of it. He didn't have the space quite to execute the move. Ivani holds on to the place. Then you've got Braun and Larson, who are just splitting themselves off the back there. And let's see what happens this time around as we look from the air for the first time tonight at the Adelaide Street Circuit. Pretty close to the centre of Adelaide, actually, right in the city here. Although there's a park around, as you might be able to tell. And towards turn 9, Castro can't get down the inside there and stays behind. There's another pit stop happening here. Chris Retz is Sally Macon here. Paco Caruso's already out this race, by the way, along with Jake Williams after their trouble earlier on in this race. But that would only be our third retirement out of 23 in half the race or so. It wouldn't be bad going, I think, I would say.
Yeah, even he killing Castro right now, but Andre, plenty of time left, only about 6-second gap from him up to Gullickson, and we have seen Castro put together some epic drives, and if he wants that championship, he's going to have to put one together here at Adelaide. But his first problem is going to be Ivani. Can he use the traffic right here? Shows his nose down the inside, doesn't quite have it, as you see Ivani wiggling, trying to put the power down out of turn 4. I told you that was very, very tough right there. There's a big bump right where you want to lay on the throttle, and that turbo spins up, and these Radicals get loose there in a hurry.
Yeah, and in the background, by the way, Larson got past Braun as well. So these groups have definitely split off into 2 now. Obviously, they're reeling James Barry back in again, these 2. But yeah, the groups more generally are split into 2. Here's Sergei Marquez here, over the curb, through the hairpin, and then wide through turn 10, and off at 11. Which, as we've seen in the past, although I think he avoids the wall at least, which is more than can be said for a lot of others we've seen go wide through there so far. Here's Ole Henrik Gullickson, who's already missing his rear wing, which is never a good sign. Through turn 10, he continues on with that, so he's running around with quite a bit of damage at the moment. But on to lap 10. We're officially halfway through the race. Oh no, this is what happened to Gullickson. Perhaps distracted, and yeah, goes off through turn 11. Lots of damage, lots of incidents happening down the back of the field, as you'd expect.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is all about seat time here at Adelaide, a brand new track, and it is really, really difficult. I'm beating a dead horse here, but it's hard to emphasize how hard some of these street circuits are. The changes in camber, the changes in elevation, the curbs, they throw absolutely everything at you, and I just can't stop thinking about these guys like Nelson Piquet and those 70s Formula One cars flogging those things around here. It must have been absolute terror.
Yeah, indeed. But it is, as you say, a street circuit that does have a surprisingly long history and preserved most of its layout from those days as well. The right turn at turn 7 has been added in recent years, instead of carrying on into yet another chicane, a left and then a right, and then effectively just making the circuit a little bit longer around the back end. It turns sharp 90-degree right through turn 7 now, and has done for many years. But the general facility, remarkable history around here as we go on board with Ryan Stringer. Trying to make a move on James Franzik. Oh, and that's breaking wide off. In fact, that's a lap car just in front of them, so they won't worry themselves with that too much. But yeah, Franzik and Stringer on the bottom of your screen as well. Another battle. I mean, there's just so many of them up and down the field here. At the top of your screen, Barry versus Evany, with Castro being left behind now because of a small error he's made.
Yeah, Castro dropping back, and as the lap's ticking down, lap 11, his chances of securing another championship out here slowly fading. Gullickson now enjoying about a 5-second gap, and if Castro wants to make changes to that, he's going to have to not only close 7 seconds between himself and Gullickson, he's going to have to get past Evany and Barry, which is a tall order indeed. Watching Barry right now heading down the road with Evany just about a half a second behind.
He will surely be back with them before the end. Philippe Bourgeois has gone too deep into turn 4 as well. He might have been able to make that. He stops and makes sure that he doesn't hit the wall while he's doing it. Still 19th and 1 lap down at the moment on the back end of the field, as Barry continues on again to keep it evenly behind. And it feels at the front like we're just starting to settle things down a little bit now in the second half of this race. I mean, but by the way, we've got both Radical Sim Racing European and America's Championships here this weekend, by the way, on Sunday on RaceSpot TV, if you want to join us for more Radical Racing on a Sunday night. But that's going to be an extreme challenge, because over the course of 45 minutes they're really going to get the chance to settle in, and that's where we might see this circuit's difficulty in overtaking start to come to the fore, as opposed to in this sprint race. But so far tonight we've not seen too much. Just as it was seen, this battle for second place was going to settle down. Even he makes a move to the outside. He's going to switch back now to try and get the run on the exit round the outside of turn 10 and into 11, and Barry holds him off fairly comfortably this time.
Yeah, Barry just showing some calm and frosty defense right there. He has got the pulse hitter, even he behind him. Even he got swamped off the start. You saw him drop to P3 in the first couple laps, and now he's trying to fight his way back. Some great camera work, by the way, by our producer, Rubino Cisneros. And here we go into that Senna chicane, and watch these radicals. We're going to curb on 4 wheels off the ground, and that is no fun in these things, folks. They do not like it, and this is a fixed setup race, so these drivers are dealing with these setups that have been fed to them. They might want to lighten up the dampers, lighten the springs a little bit for some of these curbs, but not an option out here, as you see Barry continuing to hold off Evany. He got about a 3/10 gap behind Evany. Game, but so hard to find space to pass around here.
Yeah, it is. And here's Mercer trying to get past Ryan Stringer for a top 10. Gerger Danko spun on the opening lap right behind as well, so good to see some recovering names back there fighting it out for a top 10. James Franzik currently holding that top 10. Stringer now 11th. That's a bit wide though from Danko. He's got a bit of time to regain, and Roman Folk as well. He's just in behind, so there's a lot of drivers here who've had trouble so far, who are back here. Turn 8 though, side by side, between those two very nearly. That looked for a moment like it was going to be a big moment for side by side racing, but no. Mercedes stays behind for now. It's an odd sight over the shoulder, isn't it, being able to see that front wheel, but clearly having that front bumper's not affecting him too much around here with the lack of downforce corners. Lap traffic Even he having a go, but can't do it. Maybe that traffic is his best hope at this stage.
Yeah, and we are definitely going to be seeing some back markers getting involved here. 6 laps remaining. We've seen a number of incidents, cars taking tows and coming back out, and a lot of movers and shakers out here too. I see Berger's up 8, Stringer is up 6, Rafa Blanco up 6, and of course a number of folks have fallen. Oh, and a little door banging between Ivani and Perry, and that almost got ugly on the exit right there. Holy cow.
That was almost an unbelievable crash. Barry, though, cuts back to the inside. Look at this. It looked like it was done into turn 9. He's fighting back on the outside of 10 and 11, and he knows he's not going to get any space out there, so he cuts back again, and he's got second place again. What a great battle between these two, and what a great defence from James Barry, who's keeping Peter Ivany behind, and Andre Castro sees this as the moment to strike. He's down the inside into the final turn, and he's going to get through on Peter Ivany by the looks of things here. They're still side by side into turn 1. The championship leader trying to seal the title round the outside and through. Andre Castro takes 3rd place as well, striking when even he was knocked back. Smart bit of driving. What a great bit of racing between these 3.
Incredible stuff from Castro. We knew to keep an eye on him coming out of P7. We knew that he would need an epic drive to keep his championship hopes alive, and we knew that he was capable of it. You saw it right there, and you also saw some incredible racecraft from James Barry. Ivani got the move 100% done. Barry got him right back on the switchback. That was awesome.
Fantastic racing. I thought Barry was done when he was passed here into turn 8, and he seemed to be lifting off because he thought he was going to get fed into the wall by Ivany there, but he fought back and he got back ahead. Especially smart driving, I thought, through here, through turn 11, because if he'd have hung it round the outside there, Gullickson would have, Gullickson, he's leading by a long way. Ivany would have put him straight in the wall. Not intentionally, but there wouldn't have been any space for him, and he would have ended up in the wall somewhere. But he had the presence of mind to do another cutback there, cut back to the inside and get back ahead again. And if he does hold on to finish second here, James Barry, it would be absolutely deserved because of that move alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Barry, time and time again, shows his racecraft, shows his kind of vision. I mean, you can see the whole race, and really, you very, very rarely see him make a misstep or make a wrong decision. And I call him the little professor for a reason, and you saw it right there.
Well, is there one final twist in this battle for second place here? We know that Hubert Gullickson is probably going to go on to win this race. In terms of his iRacing standing, that will give him the best possible chance of catching Andre Castro by the end of the week. In terms of the Friday night performances, by the way, here on RaceSpot TV for our broadcasted races, Castro would still just about hold on to that points lead by only 4 points. But the front 3 in our Friday night standings, that is of those Friday night races we broadcast here at 2100 GMT every Friday night, is Castro, then Gullickson, then Barry in those standings, and it's those guys in a different order to round off the podium for the final time this season as well. 3 laps to go. Castro perhaps closer than ever here to James Barry, perhaps looking for a move at turn 4. He was tighter to the inside of turn 1 there. He got a better run through 3, and now he's on the dirty side of the road, but he's on the inside. He's not braking late enough though. It's the bumpy up there. Oh, Barry gets it wrong on the bumps as he bounces over through turn 4. He can't keep the place. Castro around the outside, and is he in second place for good now? He's made that move, but he's got a long back straight to come. Castro up to second position.
Castro, what a move, and that was kind of forcing an error by James Barry. I just said that he didn't make it very often, but Castro forcing Barry to overcook that entry. He watches out on the exit, lets Castro get the position for the following corner, and so tough out here at Adelaide. You have those 4 90-degree bends in a row, and the inside line keeps changing. They're coming at you very, very quickly, and Castro right there showing why he's a past champion of these radicals, and great respectful driving actually by both of those drivers. Fantastic
racing between these two. It looks like it's going to go Castro's way now, but my goodness, we've had a great fight entertaining us tonight. 2 laps to go. Harry is now 4 tenths or so behind. Again, he's just not getting turn 1 right there. He's saw it on that previous lap where Castro actually got to the inside and eventually was able to force the move. But you see it there when he's chasing as well, even when he's following. Barry's just not quite as willing to get as close to the wall as Castro is on the way into turn 1 there. And the thing about that first part of that chicane is it means your whole run for the rest of that chicane is affected, so you need to be as close to that wall as possible. And Barry just not willing to be as committed there as Castro.
Yeah, very, very tough. And as I said, I got some laps out here. It feels great when you get it right, but the tiniest error can be magnified greatly right there. And as you said, Castro willing to make something happen. Here comes Ivani. He wants a piece of Barry, and he has to get inside Ivani, trying to fight his way back into P3.
He was almost done here as far as a podium is concerned, and Barry's got it wrong. Oh, he's in the wall. That will settle it now. That will settle the podium. Peter Ivani's going to finish on this podium after James Barry just got it wrong into the turn 11 braking zone there. And now he's got Kjetil Larsen to worry about, by the way. White flag is out, and James Barry's podium has just gone away from him right at the very end of this race.
Wow, incredible stuff right there. Barry taking relentless pressure from Ivani and then Castro. And here you see him washing out. Oh, just a little smooch. Looks like he got away with that one, Ewan, but dropping him down into P4. And that is going to impact that race for P2. He was only 20 points behind Castro, who is now well up the road with a car in between. So Castro looks like he has got a grip on the season P2 right now. Great stuff here at Adelaide. What a great finale we're enjoying today.
Yeah, what a great final way to cap it off in the Radical Esports Cup for Season 2 of 2026. Larsen might be able to have one last go here into the hairpin, but he might have to leave it for another time. Indeed, it will not be a pass down the inside, a lunge down there, but for Hubert Gullickson up front, he's doing pretty much all he can, not only in the iRacing standings, but our Friday night standings as well. Hubert Gullickson wins the final race of the season in the 2100 GMT broadcasted split of the iRacing Radical Esports Cup. It's Hubert Gullickson by 6.5 seconds to take his first win of the season here on Friday nights. Castro, though, finishes second. He finishes the season with the best record of anybody on Friday nights, and potentially the iRacing season standings overall as well. He's had a great season, and and to be fair, tonight he's really earned it as well.
Yeah, he absolutely had. We had our eyes on Castro. We knew that he had to put in an epic drive to make something happen here. We knew he was capable of it. And Castro moves up 5 positions. 5 positions at Adelaide. There were a couple of mistakes by his fellow competitors, but the majority of that, Ewan, legit, tough, expert level passes from Andre Castro, and he is a master out here.
He certainly is. It is Hubert Gullickson, though, who wins by 6.6 seconds tonight in front of Andre Castro, with Peter Ivany joining them on the podium, passing James Barry at the very end there. Kjetil Larsen couldn't quite get past for the top 5. Heinz Braun, George Gonzaga, Rafa Blanco, James Kirkopoulos and James Franznik round out the top 10. 11th goes to Gerger Danko, who did a great job recovering after spinning on lap 1. Ryan Stringer was just behind him at the end there, with Roman Foe getting past Mikko Masesia. To round out the 14th position, Gabriel Berger was rounding out the lead lap. Stuart Geddes, Massimiliano Locante, finishes in 17th. Better Sergei Marquez, he was 1 lap down as well. Philippe Bourgeois 2 down with Ola Henrik Gullickson, who rounded out the top 20. And the non-finishers, Chris Ruetz, Jake Williams and Paki Caruso in 23rd in the end. By the way, in the final standings for Friday nights, the top 9 tonight were all within the top 11 overall. So this was a real champion of champions, if you like, for the final race of the season on Friday nights, because the 9 of the best 11 records on Friday nights were in the top 9 here tonight. The only one breaking that trend to make it a top 10 was James Franznik, who scored his first top 10 of the season here tonight, and a great way to do that as well on the very final week of the season. We'll just wait for the race winners to come in a moment. We always know Hubbard and Andre come and join us, so at least they're reliable. But what a great way to end the season, JR. I mean, I was sceptical about having this actually as a final round, but as far as entertainment goes, that was very, very good. And as far as the street circuit goes, this circuit is just absolutely brilliant for it.
Yeah, outstanding. And it should be said that these Radical competitors are a pretty tight community, and the people that you see out here are the people that put their votes in and set the schedule for everybody, and they have done an epic job out here. Probably 8 or 9 of the tracks on the schedule this year were current or former Formula One tracks. A handful of classic U.S. tracks like VIR, Sonoma, Laguna Seca, the Nordschleife, and here at Adelaide. So they really put together a banger of a schedule, and the racing that you saw out here really thoroughly representative of the quality of racing that we have seen for 12 weeks out here. And you know what? I'm looking forward to 2026 Season 3.
Indeed, that will be coming up in 2 weeks' time on iRacing and Racebot TV. But before we go, we'll have a chat to the race winner tonight, shall we? Harvard Gullickson, who joins us now. Harvard, welcome in, and congratulations on topping off the season on Friday nights anyway with a race victory here tonight. Just tell us about how that race was. It looked a little bit lonely for you out there, but you did manage to take the lead off the start. Just how was that start and then the race pulling away after that?
It was a good race, good start, as you said. A bit lucky with the guy behind me, got some slowdown, I think. So, yeah, I just managed to get a small gap, and the other guys are fighting like crazy, and I gained from that. So, yeah, first win of the season. Unfortunately, not enough. So I think Castro will be the season's winner.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the iRacing standings first of all, because I did get a message that from James Barry that you two had been working out the maths on what points were required and so on. I know it's very, very complicated, and we can't tell the whole story tonight in just a few minutes. But just tell us about the scenario in terms of this season and how close it's been, because I've got maybe there have been some close seasons recently, but you know this has been a real close one between yourself and Andre and James. Just what has the season been like away from the broadcast that we've done on Fridays on these Radical Esports Cup splits?
It's been a very nice season, but Castro has been the fastest all this season actually in the in the races he has participated in. So he has won this early. I think it's 17 points, so a bit hard to swallow, but he he has the most points. So congrats to Castro. He was the fastest throughout the season, and that's what counts. And yeah, I got one win today, and that's my only win, I think. So yeah, but happy with the win, happy with the season. Yeah, maybe try to be P1 next season.
Just to put that into context, by the way, the winning total will be over 1,700 points, so that's what, less than 1% or something over the course of a season. It's quite remarkable. But commiserations on that, however. Congrats though on winning tonight. As you say, first win for us to see you on a Friday night as well, which is good here on iRacing and Racebot TV as well. Actually, first win in quite some time on a Friday. So congratulations on that, and thanks for coming to chat to us at the end of the race as well.
Thank you, Evan. Thank you.
Thanks very much. That is Harvard Gullickson who joins us there. Andre Castro was chasing him down towards the end and finishes second. Andre, congratulations on a second place finish tonight, and according to Harvard Gullickson anyway, the iRacing title this season as well, and the best record on Friday nights, by the way, as well, over the 12 races. How was that race for you? It wasn't an easy one. You gained 5 places to the end, and there were some battles right to the end of that race. How was it making passes around here on the streets of Adelaide?
Yeah, thanks. It was difficult. It was rough. Still trying to gather my thoughts after all that. I had a pretty forceful V8 supercar style move on Peter. I don't think he was super happy about that, but I thought it was pretty hard, fair racing. And then it was just about minimizing slowdowns in turn 1, because that's just the hardest thing to do, I think, on this track. And yeah, just battling it out with James and Peter the whole race was pretty fun, but obviously didn't have anything for Havard starting as far back as I did. So I'd like to have qualifying back again if I could, but you know, it was an interesting season for sure. Hopefully we can get a more split races next season, and have some more good races on Fridays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've certainly enjoyed broadcasting them. I want to talk to you about that first chicane, actually, not only in the qualifying lap, which I'm sure, as you say, you'll want back, but also throughout the race, because I felt actually it was quite an important corner as far as setting up a move on James Barry was concerned, because you seemed to be getting closer to the wall on the inside of turn 1 than everybody else, sort of willing to get closer to that tyre barrier, and obviously you get too close, it's disastrous. So it is with risk. But just tell us about that first chicane, how important it is for the lap, balancing, not hitting the wall, not getting a slowdown, and everything else through there.
Yeah, you just have to be so precise, because in real life maybe they can clip the tire barrier and get some fender damage, but in iRacing the tires are made of vibranium, so your car is destroyed basically if you touch them. And you need to take as much room as you can there to maximize your speed through there. And it's such a fast corner, so I think if you're trying to be really safe, you can give up a couple tenths per lap, but when you're trying to get pole or battling these guys, it's not something you want to do. So I cut it twice, I think, so definitely not immune to it. I'm sure some other guys did as well, but it's a really, really cool corner, I think. Obviously in real life they have a bit more, I guess, standard way of policing it, not so black and white like in iRacing, but in iRacing can't have lap stewards in every race, so it makes sense to do it the way they do it. But definitely makes puts a premium on just being inch perfect there. The closer you can get to the tires. If you could be, half a centimeter from the tires every lap, that would be the fastest line just because of the geometry of the corner. So I had fun, and hopefully we'll have some more races here in the future. Maybe if some other cars go here, it'll be nice to kind of figure the track out a bit more, because I still felt like I was learning it a little bit and trying to get it more consistent.
All right, congratulations on getting back to second place tonight here at Adelaide in the final Friday night race of the season, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
Yeah, thank you all. Hope to see you all soon.
Thanks so much, Andre Castro, the second place driver tonight from Adelaide, and we'll see him and everybody else in 2 weeks' time. But JR, one last thing, you've just put a message in our group chat about the average strength of field for this season in our time slot. 4.2k iRating. To put that into context for non-iRating or iRacing people, that's very high. It shows the standard of the competition we've had this season.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and it also is a pro tip for people interested in these cars. Whether or not you make the broadcast top split, Friday is a good day to show up because that's when the points are at an absolute premium. And if you haven't given these cars a try, I'll tell you what, I say this every season, mastery of this car will make you better at every car that you drive. 400 plus horsepower, no traction control, no ABS, and just a fantastic ride. That I strongly recommend to anybody who's curious about them.
Absolutely, and if tonight's race doesn't encourage you, then there's not much that will, because it's been a fantastic end to the Radical Esports Cup season in Season 2 of 2026. We'll be back on iRacing and Racebot TV with the new season in 2 weeks' time. Same time, same place here at 2100 GMT on Friday nights. We'll also be back on Racebot TV on Sunday nights for the Radical Sim Racing European and Americas Championship. The European Championship starting at 9 o'clock Central European time, and the Americas Championship starting at 8:30 Eastern time, I believe, if I've got that right, and around there anyway. Make sure you join us for that on Sunday night, that is, here from Adelaide. So the similar sort of racing that we've seen tonight will be returning. I've been Noodle Leary alongside J.R. Gregory with Ramiro Augustin Cisneros behind the cameras of this iRacing and Racebot TV broadcast tonight. Until we're back on Friday nights in 2 weeks' time, it's goodbye for now.